And when I said that Feng Shui is universal, if you go to Stonehenge, you'll find there are gates here and here and here and here, ancient gates. This is what's called the Ghost Gate, this is what's called the Human Gate, this is called the Heaven Gate. And you'll find that Celtic monuments seem to obey some similar rule about where the entrances are. But here is maybe about business. Here is maybe about business, about metal. Most people would say markets are metal. They'd say they're affected by water and fire. So lots of rain in a year of austerity in this country, for instance, tend to say those things go together. Which is cause and effect is a very long conversation. I suggest you don't even try to work it out. Here, this is solidity, maintaining things. This is about communication. And this is water, of course. If I made that clear, probably if I write in some elements, that probably helps. I use colours to try and do that. This is sort of woody over here. This is sort of fire here. This is, because I used black. We really need a brown one.
Okay, that's it.
This is metal. This is metal. And this is water. And in between, in case you thought I'd forgotten, we have earth. That's earth. That's earth. That's earth. That's earth. That's not earth. Damn it, that's earth. Sorry, that's earth. And by the way, that's earth. So you ignore the one flag.
And now it's all wood, so which one was
Wood, I beg your pardon. Wood, water, but this is earth. So that shouldn't have a ring by it. Earth, they're every four, look. Manuela,
sorry.
We have earth, 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 earth. Okay. It's always in a pattern. You can always recreate it because there'll always be a pattern.
Okay. Should I have attended a music course?
You'll get all the information you need about the animals for these purposes. But yes. But if you, when I was with Peter Jung in Singapore a few weeks ago, he was showing me his method of predicting stock market movement, which I didn't follow at all. I mean, it's incredible. What he's got is he has this chart, which has got thousands of numbers on it. It's all patterns, all that. When this happens, that happens. All patterns. Amazing stuff. I don't know what his results are. But
looks pretty.
I know.
Nothing. I just said it. I said, but it looks pretty.
It does look pretty. It looks like a bingo card. It looks like an incredibly complicated bingo card. I mean, he's a genius. And one of the things I'm in pursuit of this year in my research is a simple model for the behaviour of stock markets. So anyway, we digress. So there are these qualities here. So we have teaming quality here, we have playful quality here, we have beauty, jewellery, bling, we have reliability, we have versatility, we have talk, we have consistency. So consistency, reliability, not quite the same thing, but they're both earth. Yeah? We have beginnings, we have aspiration, we have sudden magic. The dragon is a character. If you put a rain cloud above it, that's the character for thunder, for the relative trigram or hexagram. But the dragon things happen suddenly. So I've called this year, 2012, the year of sudden change. I call it, I don't know whether anyone else is using the same phrase, but because it's a water dragon, sudden changes, sudden storms, sudden changes in all sorts of things. So this is your room now. So for the time being, all you need to know is those characteristics. Okay, we're not going to move very far with those for the time being. Do you need that left up there for the wall?
I can put it on the wall.
Yeah, we do that. What's the time?
20 to 11.
Okay. Next bit then. Okay. Now, leaping ahead. Leaping ahead.
Do you like that? I like
So, just as we know that there is a sequence of these animals, so within the year, we know that midwinter is here in the north with the rat, midnight is here in the north with the rat, followed by the ox, followed by the tiger as things get lighter. We know that's true of the year because it's true that we have the solstice followed by the spring followed by the equinox. We know it's true of the day because we have midnight followed by dawn. Yeah? You're going to have to take my word for it, but the days are in this sequence also. So today, for instance, is a fire dragon. Today is a dragon, which means yesterday was a rabbit, it was a wood rabbit, and tomorrow is going to be a fire snake. Yeah? But the years run in this sequence as well, so this year is a water dragon, next year will be a water snake, and the year after will be a wood horse, and then wood sheep and so on. So these run in a sequence, both in time and space. Okay? So this is one way of looking at it, and we're going to map onto it another way. So the map that you actually have here will be starting to look less complex because you'll start to see these things in it. You'll see there's just lots and lots of different maps put on top of each other. Can you see the animals around the perimeter? Yeah? We're about to work with some numbers. What they mean is numbers. And we have what are called imperial heaven stars around here, and a little bit of Bachai here as well. And when I was talking about a pie, it's like the spokes of a wheel. You see, that's what I mean by a pie. If you go to this map, you can see there are spokes coming out from the centre. Yeah, that's what I meant by a pie. People call that a pie because there's slices of the pie. Yeah. And this one, you can actually see was drawn up the year before last, I think, because I think it's. Oh, hang on. Yeah, last year, right. Actually, it wasn't drawn up that year. Let's assume it was. I think the original was drawn up the year earlier. Okay, so we have another pattern. Essentially, there are historically two schools of classical Feng Shui. One is called San Hei, or San Hap. The other one is called San Wen. And San Hei is about the animals, and San Wen is essentially about the book of changes. So San Hei is more about the place, and San Wen is more about the time. Most Chinese masters will integrate both, but what we're doing now, if you like, is integrating broadly those two systems. So, we have 3 squares to work from. And the most important square is the top one, which has a 5 in the middle. 5 is the moment. The 5 is the Tao, if you like. The 5 is the earth. It's the moment when the Tao becomes stuff. And there is this movement of energy within an enclosed space, which is not quite circular. It is not quite like the movement from wood to fire, and from fire to metal, and from metal to water. It is a different one. And starting with the 5, this pattern of energies is eternal and perpetual. It's never changed, it's never going to. So in a sense, this square rules every room, every town, every house, every community, every continent, all the time. The question that arises is, where is it? If I'm going to be drawing numbers that will fit in particular places, the question arises, where is it? Where's it measured from? The simple answer to that is from you. Essentially you. Or in the house, the Tai Chi. But it's where the energy is coming to is the point. It's to think of it as being out there, confuses the issue. It's actually it coming to you. So within this room, this will be true. Now the energy is doing this. And that movement, numbers going up, is called yang motion. And obviously, when we're just dealing with the Tao, there are no positions. Nothing is relative to anything. There is neither south nor north to it, or in or out or up or down. But as soon as we move it, this is south and this is north. There was an episode of The West Wing. Have you ever watched The West Wing? No? Oh, fabulous dialogue. Anyway, so it's about Martin Sheen as a sort of idealised American liberal president. A sort of parallel universe in which American presidents make good decisions. And so there's one particular episode where someone wants to have the law change as to how maps are drawn, and they want to use different projections. And I don't know whether you've ever thought about it. You notice that Greenland looks as if it's bigger than Australia on what's called Mercator projection. Yeah, have you ever thought about that? Do you know Greenland isn't bigger than Australia? It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Huh?
I disagree, but I just thought the maps were telling me the truth. I just thought it was huge. It always looks huge.
It's big, but it's not that big.
Okay.
Because Mercator projection is taking flat to a globe. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So that something that's that size is stretched out to fill the space on the globe. Yeah? So when you make it flat, it looks too big. If you looked at it from outer space, or if you look on a globe, you can see the relative sizes. Greenland doesn't look bigger than Australia on a globe. It only does flattened out on a Mercator projection. Yeah? And there are ways of drawing flat maps. I mean, it's not practical to have three-dimensional maps. Yeah? We wouldn't be able to carry them around. But there are lots of different conventions, and what this was showing was what the world would look like if there were a different sort of projection that made the proportions more correct, and it looks weird. It looks really strange. Every continent landmass changes shape. There are suggestions that it should be printed upside down, which would be the Chinese convention. I'm just drawing to your attention, these are just conventions. The world isn't a particular way up. People don't fall off in Australia. Yeah? But we sort
This
of...
is what I thought when I was a kid.
Yeah, I tell my kids that all the time. I told my son Tom that the cat's eyes on a motorway were actually little cats on step ladders looking up like that.
How long did you believe you for?
What?
How long did you believe you for?
Still about 25, I think.
Still does.